What's up, everybody, and welcome to probably the most exciting episode of the LittleBigKast.
So excited right now.
We are recording and coming at you live from CES 2015 in Las Vegas at the Sony booth. So if you're watching the video, like
on their stage,
yeah, we were literally on the Sony stage.
We turned on the lights.
We're feeling pretty good about ourselves right now, to be honest, and we have.
We look good. Did I mention that? We look damn good.
Way good.
We're lit up correctly for the first time.
I know.
Yeah, this is about as good as it gets, so we're super excited to be coming at you today. And we are kind of in an express mode. We've been lent to the booth briefly, so
much to see, though, right?
Yeah,
we got to get out there.
There's a ton to see, ton to talk about, so we're going to just skip over the traditional weekly wrap-up that we do and jump right into some of the news that's come out this week so that you can stay informed as far as what's happening in the Sony world.
Right now.
And then we'll give you kind of our impressions and experience for CES 2015 thus far. So Drew, sir, is going to take over the news.
All right, so 5 quick hits of news today. First thing is that the PlayStation 4 passed 18.5 million sales worldwide.
Woo!
Kind of a big deal.
Damn,
It's a big number.
That's all we can say about that. It's been fast. It's been really fast. They're doing quite well. Second bit of news is that Nyko's announced an external memory accessory for your PlayStation 4 now, so you're not stuck with 500 gigs or whatever it is.
It's like a little hat.
There's a sweet picture of it that'll just sit right on top of the machine. In fact, they've formed it to look exactly like it's part of your machine, and now you can throw external hard drives onto your PlayStation.
So many games.
Right, absolutely. And so not only does this create additional memory and hard drive space for your games, but also for music, movies, etc. I mean, it basically expands your PlayStation 4 into the realm of more of a home
Everything.
theater, home entertainment kind of server system. Yeah, exactly. So it's very cool, and the design is slick, man. It looks like it was designed to fit on and be a part of the PlayStation 4 ecosystem. So it's very exciting, and that was announced at this CES just earlier this week. So it's very exciting.
So there's a little bit more going on, of course. The winners of the PleStation Blog 2014 Game of the Year Awards were announced. So there's pulling this off the blog, but Destiny, of course, hit the Game of the Year.
So it's important to understand this is from votes from the people playing the games. So
this isn't like an industry panel. This is like straight up public voting from gamers.
Exactly.
Right.
So it gives a breakdown of the PS4 games, PS3 games, Vita, PlayStation Plus. So we'll go and list the top 4 for each platform.
I'll start with editor's choice picks. So this, of course, PS4 editor's choice. This is straight PS4,
yeah,
right? Okay.
These are the people's picks.
So people's pick. So Destiny's the people's pick for the PS4 with first place going to Dragon Age. Well, this is platinum. This is like lead grand.
It gets the shiniest
Grandmaster.
trophy. Come on.
Yeah, well, this is still gold, silver, third. That's 1, 2, 3. This is
But
Grandmaster.
this is like platinum.
That's what I'm saying. That's
don't
like
you know
the
what a trophy
Grandmaster.
is?
That's what I'm saying. Gold still gets first, but Grandmaster is the platinum. All right, so then
Grandmaster.
in order, Destiny, then Dragon Age Inquisition, Infamous Second Son, and then Far Cry 4. Which Far Cry 4 it didn't have that much of a run through 2014. It was towards the end.
No, which is really
so an
surprising.
impressive showing, right? Or it was on their mind.
So last week, for last week's episode, we had our Game of the Year episode where we discussed this, and quite frankly, I forgot that Infamous came out this year. That probably would have been on my list had I remembered. So, I think that's a solid rundown.
Good rundown, yeah.
I would have swapped Far Cry and Dragon Age for me personally, but yeah, great pick.
So for PlayStation 3.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So for PlayStation 3, the Grandmaster is Dark Souls 2, followed by South Park: The Stick of Truth.
It's strange to me. That actually shocks me.
Right? It kind of makes me want to play
wow.
it. Who doesn't love? Yeah. And then third place would be Destiny for the PlayStation 3, and the fourth one is also Far Cry 4 for the PlayStation 3.
So is that Stick of Truth? Is that like it's phallic? I mean, just like when I think of South Park and stick, I just think penis.
No, yeah, the entire game is satirical. I mean, it's the South Park game, right? It's satirical in nature, and basically Cartman gets the Stick of Truth, which is a wand that turns him into a wizard, and so it's this medieval RPG set in South Park. It's very funny. Can I take the Vita games? Because the number 1 game for Vita this year, this is my jam. It's Child of Light, made by Ubisoft. It's their kind of non-indie game, and I've talked a lot about this game over the course of the last year. It's a game that I love playing with my daughter. Very, very good game. So it's one of those things that just to me is so deserving of the recognition that it's getting. So I'm really excited. Coming in second, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Gold is still first.
Gold is.
As the
like
Drew
0?
counts, first is The Binding of Isaac.
Play The Binding of Isaac?
No, I don't think any of us did.
Let's Plays,
I wouldn't be surprised if Robin did.
If anyone wants to donate a Vita,
played it, and
do it.
It was weird and strange.
To
Didn't
me.
love the graphics, didn't love the story, but it was just kooky and weird.
So I can
But
play these games.
There are some strangers out there playing.
Right. Coming in third is Freedom Wars, and then fourth is Sword of Art Online, Hollow Fragment. And then we go through digital releases. I'll just knock the rest of these out and then give it back to you for the rest of the news. So best digital releases: Infamous First Light came in as number 1. Walking Dead Season 2 is number 2. One of the LBK favorites, Outlast, came in at number 3.
Good times.
And then again, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth came in as number 4 for the digital releases. And then for best PS Plus games, I'm not sure that I agree with the rank on this one. Number 1 coming in is BioShock Infinite. Fantastic game. Injustice Gods Among Us. Batman Arkham City. And then Tomb Raider is rounding out the 4th spot. So are there any PlayStation Plus games that you think should have filled these spots? Because for me, again, Outlast was such an amazing experience to be able to play through with a bunch of friends, sit around the PlayStation 4 in the dark dungeon of the library.
Freak out, right?
Yeah, and just be horrified. Like that to me.
We had some good times.
Right.
We did.
So I think for me personally, I think Outlast bumps Arkham City to me.
But was that a PS Plus game or?
It was.
Like December, right? It was
Yeah.
like
I didn't have. Yeah.
I think it was January. That to me would have bumped out Arkham City, but again, that's because I had played Arkham City previously. So I guess if you're new and you haven't had the experience of playing like a BioShock Infinite, then yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it makes sense too because like they're all AAA games, correct? So I mean, that's probably a big defining point.
Pushing on the other news we've got, and this one's kind of probably not really surprising, but Sony delays the PS4 launch in China. We've talked about it, how it's going to happen there. Sounds like it's the original ship date was going to be right here in January, then this weekend. We were supposed to be getting PS4 or PS anything, in China. Not going to happen. A source told Reuters that it was negotiations with Chinese officials. Again, not a surprise, but it sounds like just negotiations breaking down. They're not quite there yet. Sad thing is that there's no new release date yet. Like it's like delayed with no light at the end of the tunnel. So you will get your games. Until then, do you think they let them listen to LittleBigKast over there?
I don't know. Do they even
I
have
would
like
hope.
iTunes over
Stay
there?
tuned. We'll feed you your information.
We are a pretty
legit. Look at us. And look at us. Look at this.
We're an international friendly podcast.
We are well represented.
Boy, are we.
All right, so then rounding out in our news section, Sony launching PlayStation Now subscription option. So up until now, you could play PlayStation Now per game, rent your games out. Now you've got a subscription option. For $19.99 a month, you can have access to the PlayStation Now library, which, like a Netflix, that seems very worthwhile. If you're not going to be popping $50 on a single game, the big titles, grab your whole back catalog and play them anytime you want for $20.
Do all of it.
Absolutely, it's a great deal. I mean, honestly, a lot of the complaints that have come out from the PlayStation Now have centered on the cost per game, and so this kind of alleviates that weight of the cost per game setup. And for $19.99 a month, I mean, if you're buying one digital download a month that's on sale, you're spending more still than you are for this monthly subscription. So it gives you access to hundreds of games, vastly expands your library that's at your fingertips.
This launches on the 13th of January, so not much time, like another 6 days, and you're on it.
This is another piece of news that was announced here at CES, so it's very exciting.
And that, my friends, is the news.
Da, da, da.
So then we'll kick it over to Rachel. Our new releases is pretty much the same as last week, but Rachel, you can kind of
We want to hear your sultry voice.
Sounds good, my sultry voice. All right, on January 20th, we have Citizens of Earth. Also, Resident Evil comes out on January 20th. January 27th, we have 4 games coming out: Grim Fandango, Dying Light, Dynasty Warriors 8, Empires, and Saints Row 4, re-elected. So while being here at CES, I actually got the chance to play Dying Light. Is that what I...
No,
Nope, I didn't.
you played
play
a different
Dying
game.
Light. Oh, just kidding. We'll talk about that later.
You played Until Dawn.
Yeah, that one. I played that one. Why do they have to all start with D?
You know what? Since we're done with the new releases, let's just get into this. So
This is it.
we want to wrap kind of on the topic of just CES in general, what we've seen specifically that affects both the Sony platform, but also the gaming world in general, right? So Sony specific, we were able to play here at the Sony booth. They've got the Order 1886. They've got a 15-minute demo that you're able to play. I played it. Rachel played it. Have you?
I did not get a chance to play it yet, so tell me what it's like.
So Drew's been running multiple roles here at CES this year, while Rachel and I have kind of been just playing and finding things to do. Drew's
Running
been
around.
working like an adult.
Yes, I've been pulling my weight.
Yeah.
And I got a nice room at the Comfort Inn, and you guys for already playing got a suite at the Wynn. I don't know how this happened.
We got lucky.
It is what it
we do
is.
have a podcast producer named KT of KTData.net. Not sure if you've heard of him before, but you should have. International fame, man of mystery, and got us a suite at the Wynn. So that's pretty wild.
That's your payment for all the shows you've done for him and all the hard work. So tell us about Order. I want to know.
All right.
Such hard work.
Why don't you take it off? The Order.
The Order.
You've played it through twice, right?
Yeah, I played it a couple times. It's pretty sweet. What blows you away is just the graphics immediately. Just the wood paneling against that you run into and see, and then also just like the blood stains that you get on your person and the blood stains you leave on the wall.
Right.
As gross and gory as that sounds, the blood was really awesome. It was pretty cool.
Now I'm excited.
I don't know. And plus, I wasn't really. I haven't done a lot of research on the Order 1886. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. So when I played it, it was totally a warlike feel, all the guns that you have, and it was a pretty smooth demo.
Right, so the Order 1886 surrounds kind of this false history in London, right, where lycanthropes exist.
It takes place on
and
a
so
ship,
I was
apparently.
really hoping we were going to be able to fight a werewolf, and in the demo, I never experienced any kind of werewolf lycanthropic characters. But Rachel's exactly right. The very first thing that you notice with the Order 1886 is the amazing, graphical quality of this game. It is stunningly beautiful. In the same way that if you've been listening to our podcast for a while, we did a kind of let's play together of PT.
Right.
And in that
Good times.
we got crazy about the wood paneling in PT.
We did.
And what's crazy is that the flooring in this game, I don't know, for some reason it's little things like the floor that I think speak the most about the attention to detail that's put into a game. And the Order 1886 was able to create corridors and hallways and banisters and wood floors that looked real. In the same way that PT did, the difference is that PT was one hallway that never changed.
Right.
Where, the Order 1886 is you're in a firefight. It's high speed, duck and cover, while maintaining that
Shoot.
still graphical fidelity. And it was amazing. Graphically, it's on point.
Right, it got delayed a little bit, but do we have a release date for the Order? Is it
February, 18th or 16th, I want to say.
We can look it up. Why don't you guys
February
keep going?
31st.
What else did you play?
So,
What else have you done?
what one? Dawn. Until Dawn is
Dawn.
what I played. So, it kind of had a heavy rain feel. I haven't played Heavy Rain myself, but I watched other people play. And at the very beginning of the demo, it asks you questions like, are you more afraid of bugs? Are you more afraid of gore? Do you like the dark? Or are you just, I don't know, basically.
So it sets you up for your own
Yeah,
fears?
kind of. So it's going to be, I'm pretty sure the demo is all the same, but it kind of sets you up to play what you're afraid
Wow,
of. So
yeah,
that's kind of how it
yikes.
starts off. The demo that I played, I was Hayden Panettiere. Everyone's Hayden Panettiere, and she dances around in a little towel and gets chased around. Very slasher.
That's a game.
Slasher
yeah.
horror flick, but I'm assuming that there are more characters in the game. So Hayden, because it starts off kind of like it was a journal entry, so it's like Sam, then he gives you the time and the location. So I'm guessing that there are other people in these woods or wherever they are. So you run around, and it's very, like I said, heavy rainy. The controls move with your controllers.
Because you're kind of picking your adventure as you go.
Yeah,
you're
that's
making
exactly what it
decisions
is.
as you move along.
Yeah, so it's you can run from this guy who's chasing you, or you can hide.
In a Telltale style or different?
Less options.
With
okay.
PS4 graphics and fewer options. So you're making quick decisions I'm heading in this direction, I'm heading this direction, I'm going to hide, I'm going to fight this guy.
Okay,
Right?
got it.
So it's like run or hide, and then just the same thing, to lock the door, you have to slide the controller. And then there was a moment that there was the guy who was right behind you, and in order for you not to get caught, you have to hold your controller still. And there's there's a little meter, so it's like you're holding your breath. So
I love that.
It was pretty cool. It was really interactive. It'll be a good game. Creepy. And it's lazy gameplay is how I've always explained it. So it's I want I don't know. We could do it. It'd be fun. It'd be fun if we did another live stream of it, I think.
So that's here in the Sony booth, or
yep.
demo?
It's a really quick demo.
There's a lot of stuff here at this show. I myself have spent a lot of time in the 3D printing zone, the tech zone, and even then I'm finding things that I can't wait to be put into the gaming world. I guess we've talked about most of the games. You guys have other games you played? Because this is more like tech gear. You play anything else besides those games?
The only other thing I'll say about the order is the gunplay in it. Like initial gameplay kind of reviews were saying that the gunplay was not on point, and I really felt like that was not the case today. Did you?
I didn't feel so at
playing
all.
Through the order, it felt very tight, and it felt like the cinematic between like gameplay and cinematics flowed very well. Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was great. Comparing it to what I've been playing, which is Far Cry 4, I mean, it was tougher because like the gun moves away from your target.
Very realistic, right?
Yeah,
I
liked it.
Even the gunplay feels very cinematic. A lot of times with games like Uncharted or games like The Last of Us, the cinematic elements are very, very different from the gameplay elements, right? Like in Uncharted, you'll get bogged down in a firefight with 30 dudes, and you're just like, all you can do is just like, you're just running, trying to find the next guy and trying to avoid being killed. Where this one, it still kind of feels like you're in a motion picture walking through this gun battle. So just to clarify, the order comes out February 20th of this year. It's very soon. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot it was 2015.
Until Dawn does not have a release date yet, but both games are PlayStation exclusives. So they will only be found on the PlayStation 4, which is very exciting. The only other thing that I really wanted to talk about gaming-wise was our experience with the Oculus Rift.
It was so sweet.
Okay. Well, and I was just going to mention what I've been doing over at the White Clouds and doing stuff over in the 3D printing zone. I found things that I can't wait to make their way to gaming. Like they had eye tracking systems, and usually you only find eye tracking in like uses for like when you're doing research for academics. Right? Okay, what are people looking at in this ad or that ad, and it creates a little hotspot of where the eyeballs rest. But they had a $99 eye tracking system that could eventually make its way into gaming, where you could play things with your eyeballs, like where you look is where you shoot, and they had some demos like that. And so I played some games where I was staring at the TV, and wherever I would look, my character would aim his gun.
Sweet.
Played Fruit Ninja with my eyeballs. I don't know how many people can say that.
Slash.
Right? Slashing fruit with eyeballs. So I think that's something that's like further down the road, but you guys got a chance to play with the Oculus Rift here on the floor. You and I played last year, and I touched it the year before when it was still made out of duct tape. So I'd like to hear how it's going.
You want to go first?
Crazy, yeah. So I've only kind of used the Oculus Rift once, and that was just to see fireworks and stuff. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty to like look around, and the fact that it's completely 3D. But this time we waited in line for it, and it was totally worth it. It was like a 6 to 10 minute demo, and it was just unreal to me. It brought up different scenarios. So in one scene you could see these polygonal meese and
like
squirrel
a Little
and
Big Planet kind of like
right?
cutesy.
Mises.
Only like a little
Mooses.
kind of like a Little Big Planet kind of cutesy little just scene
Yeah.
that you could look at, right? There's
Right.
firefighters squirting water. There's people inside the building like, help us.
Yeah, there was tons. And then the next scene would be like literally a giant T-Rex roaring in your face. And it's like, I felt like an idiot, but I wanted to touch it. I wanted to know what it felt like, and I wanted to just pet it. So
Did you step back when you like? I found myself kind of reacting to the different environments that we were placed in, and so what's really cool is last year when we tested it out, we had a controller in our hand and we were playing, and it felt very dated as far as like graphically what you were looking at, right?
Oh, absolutely. And even from the first time, all I remember is more like being inside of a Minecraft world, right? And
Almost
that's
like you
all I
stepped
could see.
back to the original Xbox,
Yep.
right? Like
Yep.
you were back on an Xbox or a PS2.
Just very simple, very plain, not a whole lot of polygons, not much
Right.
texture.
You knew what you were looking at, but you weren't immersed, right? I think immersion is probably the right word to describe how the rig feels today, because and this really is what I'm most looking forward to with Project Morpheus. So Morpheus is not at CES 2015. We haven't heard anything about it for a little while.
That's right.
But if Sony can do with Project Morpheus what the Oculus Rift was able to let us experience here at CES this year, big things are in store for us, because we basically, you go through, and at one point they give an Unreal Engine demo, right? So you have the Unreal Engine logo pop up, and you are in the middle of a firefight taking place on just a city street. and you have cars blowing, like there's a big giant robot like shooting missiles at you. And at one point, you kind of feel like you're in the Matrix because this bullet shoots at you, and like you see it coming at you, and I slowly was like,
right.
I
Your
moved
first
and I watched it go
intention
past
is
me.
just to like lean back.
Like I literally watched this like bullet go past me, and it was just like immersion. Like that was like the main draw that I took from it, is you felt fully immersed in the world that they had created, and it felt believable.
Sure.
And
A couple of billion helped from Facebook to get it to
for
that
sure.
point,
Right.
right? But I think Morpheus has probably got that back, and I think I'm hoping to see it, and probably be E3 or so before we hear much more.
Right, and so like I instantly, like everyone that listens to this podcast knows that I'm a Destiny geek.
What?
I instantly, right? Shock.
Since
It's
when?
shocking.
What I want to know is how you've made it this far in the week without touching Destiny.
I've got drugs that I've been.
Little
Red Bull.
I've got little Guardian drugs that I'm injecting. I've got little Dinklebot juice that I've been
Oh,
drinking.
don't say juice.
Dinklebot juice.
Oh.
Like I kept thinking, like, man, what if you had this rig on playing Destiny? Like, what if you were on the planets experiencing them with this like
I would touch
immersive
it,
kind of
touch
reality? Like,
The aliens and
it would be amazing. So I think the Oculus Rift, more than anything else, made me excited for Morpheus, made me excited for what Sony has that they're hanging on to, that they're waiting to really debut and show off. And that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
I was gonna say we probably ought to get ourselves some access to E3 this year and the PlayStation experience
Yes,
at the end
please.
of the year, because I think
not all of us can be fancy press people who've
we can.
already been to
well,
E3.
yes, we can. Oh, yes, we can. No, I was going to say, have you guys seen that? I'm not even sure of what booth is doing this, but they have the. You stand in it and you have special shoes and you slip around and you can like move inside and shoot 3D and run around in 3D. I don't know if the Oculus is.
Do you guys
what
remember the
they've got on
movie Blank Check with Sinbad?
Right.
Because that's what it was. Yeah, except better.
It's here. It looked better. It looks cool. But graphically, I didn't think like the graphics weren't there. Like the immersion wasn't there, and that is what.
But it added this level of haptic, or something, right? There was some more interaction and not just head
Right?
turning.
The guys were sweaty, and I'm like, if you're running around from these things,
How
like,
many
it's a pretty
people
decent workout.
Straight out of Ready Player One.
Yeah, you're gonna need some jumbotron suits to get going. Some of these players get off the couch and be like, oh, I gotta walk. Hold on.
jeez.
No, they'll just thumb drive it. But I'm excited to see that kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that's here technology-wise. Have you guys run into anything else in booths that you're excited to see in the gaming world?
I did, but now it's gone. It vanished.
We could tell them
I
about
miss.
our parties last night. So we spent our days exploring the whole floor,
Let's
seeing
not.
what's going on. But we've also been very wise about planning what we do in our evening hours. And so while I was making videos one night, we did some party hopping after that. Last night was pretty dang cool because one of the parties gave us a full access to the rooftop of the Stratosphere. So we all showed up there and rode rides. Jeff made me ride all three of the scary rides. I freaked out on every one like a man. I remember we were spinning around in the swings, and he's like, just hold your hands out. And he's like looking down 108 stories, like 108 floors into the parking lots, and he's like, just hold your hands out. I'm just like, I can't let go. I barely got it for like 2 seconds, maybe.
There was one girl buried in her jacket because she didn't want to.
I had to close my eyes for a lot of it. So we've had some good times here, lots of good fun. Last night we got to go to a MakerBot party where they had the Pinball Hall of Fame locked out for us. So we got to play all the pinball. Every game you've ever seen on pinball was available for us to play with free food trucks. So we're having a good time at the party. There's lots to see, lots to do. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, what are you hoping for? I mean, we still got another day and a half. What are you hoping to see?
It's excitement. I don't really have anything I'm too excited for. It's just fun. I'm just here for all of it. So.
See, and I'll probably make another pass through the Oculus Rift. It really was so immersive. Yeah, super, super good. So I think the Foo Fighters are telling us that it's time for us to get off. So this has been episode 37, people. 37 of the LittleBigKast at CES 2015 live. Thank you for joining us. I'm at Jeff Hawks, with me as always.
At Pirate Rachel.
And
You can catch me at Night20, and together we are at LittleBigKast with a K.
Yay!
so please tweet at us, follow us, email us, littlebigkast@ktdata.net. And thanks for listening, everybody. Later.